him. Back onto DVD, we see him now enter into Sector 2 with a nice clean Sector 1. He is luckily still not invalidated his lap. And it is a yellow flag in Sector 3. Sector 3. One looks like from the AlphaTauri Qatar. And it's a yellow flag again. Someone is crashing out. And it spritz. It looks like he's just parked himself on the car track. What is he doing? That's just weird. Now as we come down with DVD, and look, and Spritz has now starts to rejoin the track again. Let us see, will the McLaren got through him pretty much. Let us see what is the time DVD will put down as a benchmark for this race. Yellow Sector 3 has come by as he crosses down the final chicane, down the final straight, and we start with a nice time for benchmarking, a 1:45.2. Now, who's the next one to complete that lap? We shall find out. We're gonna go on board with Ryo as he goes down the final chicane. Will he be able to be a 1:45? And he doesn't, sadly. Taking home a 1:47.9 as a result. But there's a new benchmark time from Karsten with a 1:45.0. Great time from him. And a yellow flag in Sector 2. Looks like the McLaren spun out and when trying to give Ray. As he rejoins the track, we now hope to see him do great things this race. As we go by the McLaren of Gracie, we'll see what will his time be. Down the final chicane, he achieves a time of, sadly, a 1:51.0. Terrible time from him, but hopefully he has time to improve. Sadly, without the ERS now, he'll have to pit for no one. Looks like Shocker and Viper. Ooh, what's going on there between these two? Now, what has happened to Thiak? He has gone off track. His time is not going to be good anymore. And sadly for T. Davis, he has invalidated his lap time, but he will now have to do another lap in this scenario. DVD goes into the pit lane. Knowing he might have P2, but still going in. For Cass, it looks like he might be going for a second push lap, trying to extend his lead more as he sees DVD is only 0.2 tenths of a second behind him. And a yellow Sector 3, what has happened there? Whatever's happened is just cleared itself out. The XD now. As we go aboard on Ryu, he might be going for his second. Maybe he's going for another lap. Was he going for the pits? He goes down into the pits. 7 drivers are still not being made of it. Spears and New Gray still need to make their points. Sadly, with a lot of drivers, they have made mistakes causing to be invalidated. This circuit is hard for it to not invalidate when you're trying to push to the pinnacle of success. But as we wait for the next driver to come in, we see that Thiak, T-Dog are now jumped down into pits for it. And Blood invalidates his lap by extending the track limits too much. Now, so far, everyone is in the pits except for the 2 Alpine drivers who are currently on their push lap, with Blood and DVD on their out laps. Viper goes down into the pits now, and Chocolat invalidates his lap as well. Same with Viper, causing them both to dump in the pits. As we go on board with Blood, he has invalidated his out lap, but it doesn't matter. He will not be getting a time for this. Now as we wait for him, he go into Sector 2. DVD also invalidates his lap as well, They're the only two, with Blood's the only one without a set time out on track. But here comes Chocolat on his push lap currently in. Will he manage to, he lets go of the accelerator for a second. That is going to cost him a couple tenths of a second on that one. As he comes down, we'll see. Hope maybe he can get good time and take over his teammate. Remember, the Alpines need to lock out that podium finish 1-2 for them to secure a win in the Constructors' Championship. And now with Stick by himself, sadly without him being here, there's not much he can do to defend his title. He's only 4 points below Viper. If Viper can do a massive improvements in this race with a fastest lap, he will be able to take on the championships. Currently Yodas, Chocolada and Dere. So far we have the Aston Martin sadly couldn't make it, causing him to finish this league with 0 points. Chocolada, the second Alpine driver we are watching right now. Ooh, nice one. He goes down into sector 3. He's on 0 points as of now. And Dure, the final of the McLarens, still unavailable to make a point. Well, with this season, it is clear that Ferrari have got a good rate to doing it. With himself being 112 points, and now we see Chocolada. He goes into the pits and does not complete his lap. We go on board then with now Pringle to see how can he do in this lap. And there's a yellow sector 3. It looks like the Ferrari will the Ferrari let him go? Yes! But stops on the racing line, sadly. What was he doing? As Pringle comes along, ooh, little wobble there. He crosses the line for a 1 minute 45, securing, taking the last of the pole positions down. As we go see, it looks like we see the Red Bull Ryu come down. He gets a time of, he secures a 1 minute 47.9, securing himself for a nice 4th place. But still, 6 drivers have still not set a lap time, with DVD trying his best now to secure a win this season, and he has spun out. During his push lap, he has spun out. Sadly, he looks like he might be aborting his lap and try again. Now, everyone except Chocolada is out of the pits. Why is that? We don't know. As we go on with Kazakhstan, he tries to extend his lead. Will he do better? No, he does not. He is at a 3 minute 50. What was he doing? We don't know. But DVD goes back into the pit lane. As we go on with Thiak, he's now pushing in to try and get himself a good lap time, and hopefully. And we have a yellow sector too. What has happened there? It's the McLaren is spun out. Ooh, he hits the wall sadly. That's gonna cost him a lot then for that lap again. Sadly, T has again invalidated his lap, causing him again to have a terrible time. As Thiak comes by the line, he sets the new fastest time of 1 minute 43.8, smashing out Kazakhstan's time by just over a second more, by 1.2 seconds. Yellow sector 3 now from Thiak. Thiak has hit the wall. He's will he retire? We do not know. Now he resets the track, but with that broken front ring, he's not going to do his best to secure a podium. As we go down toward the McLaren of Gracie, they are coming down going into the final turn, into the final chicane they go into. Nice exit speed they get. Ooh, nicely done by them. Gets the DRS, and they achieve a time of 1 minute 49. Not a great time, but they can hopefully improve later on today in this race. As sadly with they have invalidated their lap time as well. So sadly, they themselves are not going to get a good lap time, will have to do another lap to try again. As we go live with Spritz now, we're gonna see how he does into the final turns. We shall find out how good is he in racing this circuit. Goes down, ooh! Little wobble there from him, he looks like a bit messed up. Into the final chicane he goes. Nice braking, will he get good exit speed? He does get some decent, but across the line to secure a 1 minute 48.1. Nice decent time for him, but let's see, will he improve his time later on? Sadly, the Red Bull Ryu has sadly invalidated his lap time. The McLarens are trying again, racing this time, trying to trying to get a better time from his last one. Remember, the slowest time so far has been a 1 minute 51, but now being improved, it's currently a 1 minute 49.8. Decent exiting speed. No, they do not try and go for another lap and accept their time there and then. As we now go on board with Cass, let us see, will they be able to get a better, decent lap now and try and take back pole position as the Viper and Thiak destroy their times? No, he does not, but what was that? He hit the wall going into the pit lane. As we go live with Blood himself, he's now going to try and improve his time up. Remember, he's only 0.5 seconds behind DVD. He is going to try and push it out to secure it. Will the McLaren now move out of his way ahead? No, he does not. He gets in. Down the final straight he goes. Little wobble again. He activates DRS. But that time is terrible for him. He will now have to retry again. As we go live with, who shall we go next live with? Who's the next driver to make a line? Well, it's you, Gray. He is still unable to make a time. But remember, there is still... How long do we have on this session now? We have 3 drivers who are still not set a lap time. And only 2 minutes to set one. If anyone wants to set a time now, everyone comes out of the pits now. Looks like everyone will try what... But VPR, does he just go into the pits? No. He has to get he must come out the pit soon if he wants to get a time now set. But looks like he might... from what our times have been seen, he might be a bit too late to get this time if he doesn't come out the pit soon. As we continue line, these people are going to be going for, they might be getting one more lap. If people in the out lap will get another chance if they can get into the line quick enough. But for these on the current fight push lap, this might be their final one. And Gray has spun. He has spun, Roy, but he still has time to hopefully improve to do one more push lap. He will race. And DVD is being disqualified from the session for going the wrong way on track. DVD has been disqualified. He is now going to be forced to go back down to the pits now, and he'll have to move out the way. And sadly for his disqualification, he is sent to the back of the grid for that one. And VPR looks like he's crashed out. What happened to him? Let's see, can we get a look at what happened? And what's going on? Blood is letting them go in. He's on his 3rd lap, and Thiak, still with fresh tires, trying to keep his pole position. But let us see what happened to him. From what it looked like, he might have outspun and hit a wall. And look, from what it looks like now, no one here is going to be available. And that is qualifying complete. Sadly, Cat looks like it is Cass. He is sadly unable to set another time. Everyone here now only has one more chance to set a fastest lap. So everyone here is gonna hope they don't invalidate that time at all for them to have a decent time. And what has happened to Blood? He has crashed out. Blood has crashed out. Or he has retired. What has happened? We should get a view of hopefully what Blood happened. Or he might have gone down into the pits. Ryan crossed the line with proving by 0.7 of a second, but sadly not enough to go up. And you great passes him with a 1 minute 45.8. Now, remember, there are currently only 3 drivers left. Chocolat is still not set a time. But he sadly is going to set a terrible time. He's not going to set a time, because sadly, his lap's invalidated. And he crossed the line. Will be starting in 10th position. Diab goes down to the pits. He will not set a final lap. T is now the last one. If he doesn't go in the pits, we will see a lap time. But that is a lap time he will not improve. As he we wait for him to cross the line, and that is qualifying is done. As we wait for it, looks like qualifying is not completed as Diak goes into the pits. We now wait for qualifying to be completed, but from what it looks like, we have ended this time in, and now we show it in. And I would like to thank you all for this amazing time. But that was our qualifying for today. And as we see this, we shall now go over the grid just before. Looking at the podium, we got Thiak, T, and Viper. So the rest of the grid. Thank you all for watching this qualifying. As we now for our race to begin. Our starting grid lineup will be Thiak in pole position, and T completing the locking out the front row. Following behind, we got Viper in Cass, Blood Pringle, Yuga, Ryu, Spritz, Gracie, Chocolata, and DVD. Thank you all for watching. We shall now wait for the race to begin. Now, as we load into it, we now get ready for some qualifying. As we seen yesterday in qualifying, we had like a bunch of people going at that first turn. Now, will we see some tier 2 drivers messing up turn 1, or are we going to see some people actually perform much better than their better counterparts? Remember, DVD himself did terrible yesterday, but he himself is going to go and take in a better race today. And it's been a red flag. We've not even started the session and we are red flagging it. Someone got disqualified for no reason. So this session has been red flagged. So it looks like we will begin again later on. Well, it looks like no one has been disqualified, looks like. But why are we being red flagged? That is it! Thiak and Tia, Viper disqualified. That's 3 disqualified now. What is happening today? And that's more disqualifying. Everyone is being disqualified left, right and center. What is going on today? DVD, Chocolate, Ukraine, Cass, they just watch as their fellow drivers be disqualified. What is happening? Now, DVD is going to have to return the position to Chocolate, but he is not going to for some reason. And as we get as the red flags get raved down in the track, all the drivers are now, even the disqualified drivers now make their way down to the pits. DVD and Chocolate as well, but we will now return later on when we get to see a change to see whether we will have another change once more. We will now return when the green flags are back up and we go racing. As we now begin, all the drivers now get back in the cars and suiting up as they do last minute preparations to their car. And everyone now, I think from that disaster from qualifying, with the red flag being up, they are able to change their setup and what their tyre strategy is going to be. But what has happened now? Everyone's been disqualified again. With there's only 4 drivers left. What in the God's name happened in this restart? Now, from the current tyre strategy, it looks like this will be a one-stop. Again, like last time, it's going to level. We now turn on our data. Let's see. What are the current tyres look like? People are going for a 2-stop strategy. Too much. What has happened? Everyone's gone to. There were 3 drive-through penalties. People are down in the pits. What's going on? This is the craziest race. What the hell is this Steve done? He has crashed himself and Viper out the session. Pringle has crashed. Everyone is crashing out. What is going on today in this session? This session is turned to chaos, and a safety car has been deployed. I repeat, a safety car has been deployed, with 3 drivers being out, and T-Tag goes out as well. The top 3 podiums have all crashed out. What is going on today? And another red flag has been thrown today. As we now wait for the drivers to begin again. All the drivers will now return to the pits to rate in for another race to begin. With the red flags thrown again, we now wait for the drivers as they all return to the pits. We wait for them to gear back up, suiting up, and everything else. We will return later on when we have gotten confirmation that the green flags have been raised and we can restart our formation gap one more time.
sports. It's in the game.
As we wait for the race to restart, we'll now take a short break. I will be back down in a second when this race has begun. Now to rate. And we are back as we wait for the as the cars that get set in the grid. We wait for let's do it. We now shall wait for us to see when this formation lap begins, and whether we will have the chaos that happened like before. Now while we have a qualifying, we wait to see whether qualifying will begin. And we're racing! We go straight into racing, it looks like. Doesn't look like the formation lap here. As Diak is continues to lead, but it doesn't look like it's a... Is this a formation lap? We do not know. What the hell is going on with that? People are glitching. What is going on with the McLaren? Is this a formation lap or something? Because everyone all the drivers look confused right now. Did the race strategies? It's a 2-stop, so everyone will be stopping between lap 10 and lap 13. As we go on board with Thiak, we're waiting to see. It looks like Thiak and Davies are going to work over there as they continue through this formation lap. Now, from what it looks like, everyone is in the format except for DVD. He was disqualified from qualifying, and still, but Sandy has been put back into P3. What is the rate? Has the race official changed their mind or something? It looks like they have. Chocolada Show starting in the back of the grid, being put down by one position. With the current grid looking at going far as Thiak, T, DVD, Viper, Cass, Blood, U, Y, Viper, Racy, and Shu. We now wait for the grid to, as the grid now approaching the final chicane. And it looks like Davey had a glitch which disqualified him from qualifying due to Willis spin out and him continuing forward. The game made them disqualified, so he has gone back to P3 with the FIA reverting their position. As the cars begin to form back up now, we now wait for the cars to form up. We wait as the 4 lights go in. And it's lights out, and away we go. And someone's already DNF'd. What has happened? Cass is DNF'd or disqualified. It's lap 1. What has happened here? Someone's lost their front ring. This is chaos in turn 1. What has happened? Now, and looks like it's been a virtual safety car has been sent out. And Gracie has to return back to Blood for an illegal overtake. But from what it looks like, we have two drivers who have one being disqualified, and it looks like Yuko might have DNF'd. We don't know. Yes, he has DNF'd. He looks like DNF causing the search safety car to come out. From what it looks like with the car coming out, will we see the VSC end and we resume racing on lap 1? Let us find out in a minute. As we rate the scene, will this VSC go green at any point? We don't know, but we shall find out soon. As the cars come down the final chicane, and the green flags have been roved, and we are back racing in Belgium. Ooh, will we have as we rate down, 3X sets a fast time of 2 minutes 11. But will you even know with that red flag? And Shu has dozed down into the pit. Early pit stop from him to replace that front wing he lost in qualifying. And Viper is being a 3-second penalty, and it's DNF'd. Viper crashes out. What has happened to him? He has crashed out. Shu has now gone into the hard compound tyre and is planning to now make a later pit stop onto the medium compound. As we race confirmation to what's going to happen, but from what it looks like, this race has already started in chaos once again. And we go live with Viper as he tries to as he goes in to try and catch up Blood to make a move for him into P4. And it's another one! Shu has DNF'd! Shu has DNF'd! And a VSC has been deployed once again, bunching up the grid. What is happening today? This is a lot. It's only lap 2 and we're on our second VSC. But being red flagged once, we're seeing chaos already amidst this track. Now, as we wait for this to continue on, we shall now see whether we be red flagged and the session starts again. But from what it looks like, we are going to be staying as a virtual safety car, and a full safety car will not be deployed. And DRS and the VSC has ended, and DRS has been enabled. Now, sadly, with only a few drivers, might be able to get a good distance down to it. With Viper gonna get Viper will have DRS on this into this, and there's a yellow, and it looks like someone has crashed. Someone has crashed, and it is Blood. What has happened to Blood? We don't know. But that is more drivers DNFing than we've seen. That is that's 5 down. Hold on to lap 3, we've lost 5 drivers. What has happened today, folks? We don't know. This DVD tries to keep that gap between him and T small, under a second. And Spritz has been given a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings for extending track limits, I presume. Well, let us see what happens now. Without any of the drivers in distance of each other, there's not much action happening on the circuit as of now. Just people trying to hold position and gain time on the driver ahead. And DVD gets DRS in the straight. Will he? Oh, he gets that good pull away. He might be able to get it. And he says the fastest time as well, DVD. Does DVD get a good exit? He does get a great exit. Now, Diak is in trouble. T and DVD both have will both have DRS. Coming down. T has made a good distance. As T goes. And there goes T. T passes Diak. Taking position. DVD tries to approach him, but no, she sadly cannot. T still holds position Diak. But DVD is approaching Diak. Ooh, got a little wobble there. Costing him some time now. Let's go live with DVD as he continues to try and make a move on Diak to gain up into P2. Remember, the Ferraris are trying to take on P1. They want the remember, with the Alpines knocked out and Viper gone, Viper's lost all hope to win the championship, sadly, and stick by with it. Arroyo has been given a 30-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. Looks like warning for T. As Diak is now entered, DRS has entered, is now in distance for DRS, as they now continue racing on into sector 3. As they go down, and Diak is going to get DRS, will he get the better exiting speed? Yes, sadly he doesn't, and T makes a new fastest time for 1 minute, 48. He is holding strong in his position today, folks. He has not yet lost himself positioning. Let's go very on. Will he see that speed? Yes, that speed coming in it. Diak gain DRS on this straight again. Let's see him now trying to approach. Will he use his ERS to get that boost of energy he needs to get past him? No, he does not. He conserves his ERS. But yeah, over that better exiting speed. He's coming along better. Will he now make him? Will he make a move on his teammate T in a minute? We will see. If he has the better line right And as Diak activates, and it's a 3-second time penalty now for Gracie for multiple warnings. Everyone in our podium position has been given a time penalty. What is happening today, folks? What is happening? Now for everyone starting on the medium tire compound, it looks like people might be going on from medium to it. SDA gets another chance for an overtake again. Starts down the main straight, but sadly, he will not be able to make a move this time. Does Diak get the better exiting speed? He does get a better exiting speed. Goes to the right line, he will have that advantage coming in to that DRS zone. Into DRS, will he activate the ERS to give him that boost of energy? He does not, but he is catching on using the slipstream from his teammate. But look, he has gotten close. He's going to challenge him maybe into the next few turns. He might challenge. We'll try and keep this distance here. But as he gets a slow exit speed, the time increases. He gets a great entry into it, an exit maybe. Great entry, but sadly a terrible exit from here. As he loses time and his teammate ahead. And a yellow sector too. What has happened? T has spun. T has spun and lost position. DVD and Diak overtake him, with Diak taking the lead. Luckily with T, he still holds position, but Sprit is still way ahead of him. Someone is spun out. Is that being another spin? No, it's Gracie going slow. What has happened? But it's a DNF. Thiak has DNF. Thiak has DNF. And Gracie being given another time penalty. As the Ravens come along, we see it. And looks like a full safety car has been deployed. A full safety car has been deployed. And the red flags are being thrown again for the third time today. As we now see these drivers are going to return. As the drivers do one more lap to return to the pits. It's a red flag today. And looks like the reason for the FIA is giving out is too many DNFs, causing not many drivers to finish. Looks like a lot of these drivers are now going to, for what they're saying, we're going to resume our driving for 11 laps. We're going to resume driving for. And we do apologize to the viewers for this weird change of events today. From a 22 lap race to a 5 being disqualified, now going down to it. As the 6 drivers who have DNF'd come down, they all begin preparing their backup cars to try again in the next time. As we continue from the current grid order, the current grid order will consist of DVD in pole position, followed by T, Spritz, Gracie, Ryu, Thiak, Blood, Show, Viper, You, and Cass. We now rate until green flags are shown as the drivers park up in the pits. We do apologize once more, but we shall now rate for our new race begin once again. And what has happened to T? He crashes out the same way he did. Come back into the pits, causing him now to switch to his backup car. Now, welcome back everyone to the race again. As the drivers have all lined up in their spare cars too now, and with brand new fresh tyres in this 11-lap race. Now, so it looks like a lot of drivers could now do a singular will have to do a pit. Now, from what I predict, I'm thinking a strategy today might be the mediums to the softs, or soft to the mediums. But we now wait and see what drivers think is the best strategy. For as we remember, hard compound tyre is going to be a no-go today unless these drivers make a pit into lap 1 or pit at the very last second. As we wait for the session to start, we continue waiting in excitement to see whether we'll have another incident like before. And the drivers begin a formation effort, looks like now. As we go checking the tyre compound, let us see what it looks like. It looks like there will be a two-stop strategy, with some drivers starting on the softs, with only Thiak. It looks like Thiak, Viper, Race and Cass starting on the medium tyre compound. As we wait for the drivers to... What the hell happened with DVD there? It's gone off track during the formation lap. That is going to really turn. Yes, as we see here, it looks like there's a two-stop strategy. People the soft going for the soft to hot mediums, and those are mediums predicted. Good to mediums, medium to a hard compound. We will wait to see what drivers do as the lap progresses further on. As the drivers start beginning to edge out of sector 2 and begin to roll and begin their drive into sector 3, we now rate. Now into the final sector goes DVD. We now wait for him to get to the line, with him setting the pace amongst the other drivers. With him, the rubble there. That would have been disastrous for him to DNF. As DVD comes down the final chicane, let's go on board to see how good he does in parking up today. So drivers begin the park up. We now wait to see how good their parking truly is today. There's some decent parking coming from it. But what is happening to Pringle? Looks like Pringle got disqualified or had some impact. Pringle got disqualified. Is that literally just because of this? That? For red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Ryu has a driver penalty. Ryu has been disqualified for severe collision with T. T has gotten a driving penalty for a jump start. What is going on today, folks? Chaos into turn 1 again, brings Chaos back into the drive. But so far, no other driver holding it up. Now we have not seen a lap 1 incident like that. Oh, into turn 3, will there be an incident? Slight collision between the Ferrari. Ferrari contains a little slight collision with the AlphaTauri of VP. Really, as he tries to defend position. And a touch goes on vital scratch. Pringle has been given a one. What's going on? Blood has been spun off track by the alpha top by the driver. How could they do this? Now, as Grace now tries to make a move on Cass. Now, as they go back into it from where it looks like people will not be pitting for some time. Remember, the Extra has his drive-through penalty and Pringle has a 3-second penalty, which is going to affect his time at the end of the race. It looks like Team Mike, is he gonna hold his, remember, the driver's but VP knows, he doesn't matter how close. Will T go into the pits? No, he does not jump to the pits for this first lap. Holding out. As DD sets a fastest lap for 1 minute, 54.5. As we're on board with, let's go on board with Theak now. Remember, Theak he knows his team. Now Theak knows his teammate is gonna have to has to do a drive at some point. And Pringle has been given another 3-second penalty for multiple warnings again. What is happening today, folks? The Ferrari and the Mercedes are having troubles today, and that Red Bull being disqualified in lap 1 is causing problems, and maybe it's going to cause some diversity within the chat again. And VP looks like has crashed out. VP DNFs, causing a BSC to come out. That is 2 DNFs in the span of the lap 2. Well, looks like when it's coming in, we're getting a DNF every lap now. What is happening, folks, today? Will we get a second DNF on lap? Will we get another DNF on lap 3? Let us find out. And Pringle has been given a drive-through penalty. Same with Grace, and same with Grace. All for speeding under VSC conditions. Those 3 are gonna have problems. Now DVD, as he's been overtaken by Theak. DVD is gonna try and make that lead. Ooh, but gets a terrible one. And Pringle gets another time penalty. Theak goes into pits. Blood does not stay out and Blood stays out. As we wait for this conditions, I will have to go. We will be back in a second. And we are back, ladies and folks. They're still trying to make a move on it, but the time change always. Cass tries to make a move on show, but it just sadly it does not stick. As he tries again, and this time really, he does not. And Cass has been given a time penalty for multiple warning. Remember, and Blingo's got another 3-second penalty. How many penalties will this man hold today? Remember, Pringle goes in the pits to serve his penalty. Same does Grace. Both going in to serve their time penalty. Kaz, hoping he can make a move on the show. Same with DVD, hoping he can make a move now with DRS enabled this lap on Thiak for pole position. As show comes along to Cass, he's going to try and take his position back again. And we go live with, and Show gets a 3-second penalty now. It doesn't matter now how close he gets with Kaz. He now has to overtake him or have Kaz get another penalty alone. And that's a yellow flag in Sector 2. Who has caused the yellow flag to come out? Not seen anymore. Oh, and DVD goes down into the pits. Why is he going to the pits this early? We don't know. Is he going to pit for new tyres? We shall see. And he pits to go into the medium compounded tyre very early on. Show bit so well to go to the medium as well. Because coming out of the pits after serving a lot of his time penalties as of now. And as he comes out of the pits, he comes out about 10 seconds behind T. And he crashes! He makes a mistake, goes too wide and crashes out and pulls out the full safety car. The full safety car being deployed, and now gives the rest of the back of the grid a chance to catch back up and maybe make a move, especially with those drivers who have not pitted. Drivers who are not pitted, it looks more like a better idea now to pit this lap. Diak goes down to the pits. Looks like he might be pitting for some new tyres. And great, given another 3-second time penalty. The top 3 have all jumped down into the pits and are moving on to, and there goes Diak onto the soft tyre. And they say all of them are moving on to the soft compound tyre for this race. Diak still holds his pole position as he approaches the safety car, he slows down, narrowing missing it, and continuing onwards from now on. Remember, Viper is fighting to beat Stick in this race. He must remember, Viper needs to get first place if he is wants to win this. And T gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. What is this race, folks? Time penalties are coming out left, right, and center. Well, it looks like we might not be doing another lap. We'll be doing another lap on the safety car conditions due to Gracie and Show unable to catch the grid. And looks, as we wait for confirmation to see whether the safety car stays in or out, it looks like it might be staying out for another lap. Right as Gracie and Show put together, showing that these guys might have to go another lap under these safety car conditions. And Show has left the session for some reason. Did the game kick him out, or has he just decided to leave after the frustration that has caused him today? As we wait for confirmation that the safety car will come in this lap, I think the drivers themselves hope it does come in, for a lot of them are on fresh sauce and do want to get to racing once again here in Belgium. As the race control signals that the safety car will be in this lap, the drivers now start getting ready to return to racing condition. And remember, there is no overtake until the green line. As the drivers go down to the final chicane, the drivers go down the final chicane now, as they come out, they'll be in race conditions. Ooh, there's a little close contact between Viper and Diak, and we are racing once more today in Spa. Viper really trying to make a move on Diak to take pole position and trying to get that win in the championship. As he makes a move on DVD for fourth place, will he make it? Goes side by side. And he gets past. Will it stick though? It does stick and holds position into it. It looks like DVD might make a move again onto T to kick back position. And see if he can get some better exit speed, but the start loses in as he goes to the next corner. As we go in with Viper, he really is, he is pushing that AlphaTauri car to its limits with the AlphaTauri. With it trying to do in. Comes into the car, and Cass gets that good exit speed. But is it good enough for it? No. And Viper in that Alpine really pushing it on forward to take pole position and win the championship. Ooh, and then Cass tries to attack Viper head on in the AlphaTauri. Viper's still trying to keep up with Diak. But as he loses time with Diak, Cass gains time onto him to make a move to second place. Now, as we wait for some action to end, we shall take another little break quickly. I shall see you all in a second. As we come back, Viper DNFs himself. What has happened to Viper? We will see now if he can run. He has knocked us into that road, causing him to DNF. Coming now. VSC has not been deployed or a safety car. So, we now continue, racing is continued from lap 10, with 2 laps remaining now. Diak is looking uncontested from here. Well, it looks like he might be celebrating a nice win for the championship. Diak is now trying to make a move onto him. But Cass tries to make a move with Diak. Remember, even if Cass does achieve this move, he needs to be 3 seconds ahead of Diak. But is Cass going to try and move? Cass does not try and dive bomb the inside of Diak. Cass trying again. He's going to try again now after coming up the turn. He gets that better pull-out speed. And there he goes as he tries to go in. Diak opening the door for him. What do you think? No, and he doesn't. Diak doesn't need the man, doesn't need Cass any space to turn in. And Furlong turns into him. What is Diak doing today, folks? What is he doing? As DVD comes down, he gets a better extra speed than T. He's going to try and make a move on T. Even though he is guaranteed to get a good time, he is guaranteed now to maybe finish soon. And he gets that nice move. And he spins out! He guts it and loses his front ring. But that was a terrible move on his end. He could have been outright denied if he just left. If he didn't make a move down the inside that late. Cass going off track, trying to hopefully get in there. As it approaches the final chicane into the final turn. Celebration it down in the Ferrari paddock. As Diak comes by to take home the win. Diak wins the Belgium Grand Prix, with Cass taking second and Keith following third. As the rest of the drivers cross the line, and as final use heads to the line, we do consider that race is over for the day. Cass being awarded driver of the day for his top-notch skills he's shown in today's race, which was the best we've ever seen here in RRC. The podium position goes on as we look at the standings. Thiakin wins the race in pole position, following down by AlphaTauri of Cass, T from the Ferrari, DVD in the Williams, Show in the Alpine, Grace in the McLaren, Viper sadly losing out on the championship in 7th, Blood in the Mercedes going out in 8th, VPR in 10th, 9th, and Ryu disqualified at on the first lap, not even getting out of disqualifying. He sits down at the bottom of the tables. We'd like to thank you all for watching today, folks.